A vocational school, sometimes called a trade school or vocational college, is a post-secondary educational institution designed to provide vocational education, or technical skills required to perform the tasks of a particular and specific job. Vocational schools are traditionally distinguished from four-year colleges by the focus on job-specific training to students who are typically bound for one of the skilled trades, rather than providing academic training for students pursuing careers in a professional discipline. While many schools have largely adhered to this convention, the purely vocational focus of other trade schools began to shift in the 1990s toward a broader preparation that develops the academic as well as technical skills of their students. Australia. Vocational schools were called technical colleges in Australia, and there were more than 20 schools specializing in vocational educational training. Only 4 technical colleges remain, and these are now referred to as trade colleges. At these colleges, students complete a modified Year 12 certificate and commence a school-based apprenticeship in a trade of their choice. There are 2 trade colleges in Queensland, Brisbane, the Gold Coast, Australian Industry Trade College, and one in Adelaide, St Patrick's Technical College, and another in Perth, Australian Trades College. In Queensland, students can also undertake VET at private and public high schools instead of studying for their overall position, which is a tertiary entrance score. However, these students usually undertake more limited vocational education of 1 day per week, whereas in the trade colleges the training is longer. Canada. Vocational schools are sometimes called colleges in Canada. However, a college may also refer to an institution that offers part of a university degree, or credits that may be transferred to a university. In Ontario, secondary schools were separated into 3 streams: technical schools, commercial or business schools, and collegiates. Those schools still exist, however, the curriculum has changed that no matter which type of school one attends, they can still attend any post-secondary institution and still study a variety of subjects and others. In Ontario, the Ministry of Training, colleges and universities have divided post-secondary education into universities, community colleges and private career colleges. In the province of Quebec, there are some vocational programs offered at institutions called CEGEPs, but these too may function as an introduction to university. Generally, students complete 2 years at a CEGEP directly out of high school, and then complete 3 years at a university to earn an undergraduate degree. Alternatively, some CEGEPs offer vocational training, but it is more likely that vocational training will be found at institutions separate from the academic institutions, though they may still be called colleges. Central and Eastern Europe. In Central and Eastern Europe, a vocational education is represented in forms of vocational technical schools, often abbreviated as PTU, and technical colleges. Vocational school of vocational college is considered a post-secondary education type school, but combines coursework of a high school and junior college stretching for 6 years. In Ukraine, the term is used mostly for sports schools, sometimes interchangeably with the term college. Such college could be a separate entity or a branch of bigger university. Successful graduates receive a specialist degree. PTUs are usually a preparatory vocational education and are equivalent to the general education of the third degree in the former Soviet education, providing a low level of vocational education. It could be compared to a trade high school. In the 1920 to 30s, such PTUs were called schools of factory and plant apprenticeship, and later 1940s vocational schools. Sometime after 1959, the name PTU was established. However, with the reorganization of the Soviet educational system, these vocational schools renamed into lyceums. There were several types of PTUs such as Middle City PTU and Rural PTU. Technicum, technical colleges, becoming an obsolete term for a college in different parts of Central and Eastern Europe. Technicums provided a middle level of vocational education. Aside of technicums and PTU, there also were vocational schools that also provided a middle level of vocational education. In 1920 to 30s Ukraine, technicums were vocational institutes. However, during the 1930 to 32s Soviet educational reform, they were degraded in their accreditation. Institutes were considered a higher level of education. However, unlike universities, they were more oriented to a particular trade. With the reorganization of the Soviet education system, most institutes have been renamed as technical universities. Finland. The Finnish system is divided between vocational and academic paths. Currently, about 47% of Finnish students at age 16 go to vocational school. The vocational school is a secondary school for ages 16 to 21 and prepares the students for entering the workforce. The curriculum includes little academic general education, while the practical skills of each trade are stressed. The education is divided into 8 main categories with a total of about 50 trades. The basic categories of education are humanist and educational branch, cultural branch, the branch of social sciences, business and merchandise, natural science, technology and traffic, the branch of natural resources and environment, the branch of social work, healthcare and physical exercise, the branch of travel, catering and domestic economics. In addition to these categories administered by the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Interior provides vocational education in the security and rescue branch for policemen, prison guards and firefighters. The vocational schools are usually owned by the municipalities, but in special cases, private or state vocational schools exist. The state grants aid to all vocational schools on the same basis, regardless of the owner. On the other hand, the vocational schools are not allowed to operate for profit. The Ministry of Education issues licenses to provide vocational education. In the license, the municipality or a private entity is given permission to train a yearly quota of students for specific trades. The license also specifies the area where the school must be located and the languages used in the education. The vocational school's students are selected by the schools on the basis of criteria set by the Ministry of Education. The basic qualification for the study is completed 9-year comprehensive school. Anyone may seek admission in any vocational school regardless of their domicile. In certain trades, bad health or invalidity may be acceptable grounds for refusing admission. The students do not pay tuition and they must be provided with health care and a free daily school lunch. However, the students must pay for the books, although the tools and practice material are provided to the students for free. In tertiary education, there are higher vocational schools, which give 3 to 4 year degrees in more involved fields, like engineering and nursing. In contrast to the vocational school, an academically orientated upper secondary school or senior high school teaches no vocational skills. It prepares students for entering the university or a higher vocational school. Ireland. A vocational school in Ireland is a type of secondary education school which places a large emphasis on vocational and technical education. This led to some conflict effect in the 1960s when the regional technical college system was in development. Since 2013, the schools have been managed by education and training boards, which replaced vocational education committees which were largely based on city or county boundaries. Establishment of the schools is largely provided by the state. Funding is through block grant system, providing about 90% of necessary funding requirements. Vocational schools typically have further education courses in addition to the traditional courses at secondary level. For instance, post-leaving certificate courses which are intended for school leavers and pre-third level education students. Until the 1970s, the vocational schools were seen as inferior to the other schools then available in Ireland. This was mainly because traditional courses such as the leaving certificate were not available at the schools. However, this changed with the Investment in Education report, which resulted in an upgrade in the status. Currently, about 25% of secondary education students attend these schools. Japan. In Japan, vocational schools are known as senmon gakko. They're a part of Japan's higher education system. They are two-year schools that many students study at after finishing high school. Some have a wide range of majors, others only a few majors. Some examples are computer technology, fashion and English. Netherlands. In the Middle Ages, boys learned a vocation through an apprenticeship. They were usually 10 years old when they entered service, and were first called leerling, then gezellen after an exam, sometimes with an example of workmanship called the meesterproef. They were called meester. In 1795, all of the guilds in the Netherlands were disbanded by Napoleon, and with them the guild vocational schooling system. After the French occupation in the 1820s, the need for quality education caused more and more cities to form day and evening schools for various trades. In 1854, the Society Maatschappij tot Verbetering van den Werkenden Stand was founded in Amsterdam. It changed its name in 1861 to the Maatschappij voor de Werkendstand. This society started the first public vocational school in Amsterdam, and many cities followed, at first only for boys. Later the Huishoud school was introduced as vocational schooling for girls. Housekeeping education began in 1888 with the Hoogje Koek School in The Hague. In 1968 the law called the Mammitwet changed all of this, effectively dissolving the Ambacht School and the Huishoud School. The name was changed to LTS, where mainly boys went because of its technical nature, and the other option, where most girls went, was LBO. In 1992 both LTS and LBO changed to VBO, and since 1999 VBO together with MAVO changed to the current VMBO. United States. In the United States, there is a very large difference between career college and vocational college. The term career college is generally reserved for post-secondary for-profit institutions. Conversely, vocational schools are government-owned or at least government-supported institutions, occupy 2 full years of study, and their credits are by and large accepted elsewhere in the academic world, and in some instances such as charter academies or magnet schools may take the place of the final years of high school. Career colleges, on the other hand, are generally not government-supported in any capacity, occupy periods of study less than a year, and the training and certifications are rarely recognized by the larger academic world. In addition, as most career colleges are private schools, this group may be further subdivided into non-profit schools and proprietary schools, operated for the sole economic benefit of their owners. As a result of this emphasis on the commercialization of education, a widespread poor reputation for quality was retained by a great number of career colleges for over-promising what their job prospects for their graduates would actually be in the field of study upon completion of the program, and for emphasizing the number of careers from which a student could choose. Even though the popularity of career colleges has exploded in recent years, the number of government-sponsored vocational schools in the United States has decreased significantly. The Association for Career and Technical Education is the largest American national education association dedicated to the advancement of career and technical education, a vocational education that prepares youth and adults for careers. Earlier vocational schools such as California Institute of Technology and Carnegie Mellon University have gone on to become full degree granting institutions.